All right, so when I'm stretching with the power hammer, I'm looking to add surface area, and what is it going to do to the panel when I'm adding surface area in a certain spot. For instance, this spot that I'm working here is going to help fan it out to create the curve. It's different from when I'm working this area here, where I'm adding surface area to get the valley closer to the buck. So these are kind of the things that you'll have to wrap your head around as you're watching this. As I'm checking the panel onto the car, I'm looking for areas that I can stretch to make the panel fit better. You know, the valley will need to be closer to the buck. That's where I'm adding stretch in the center of the panel, and then up top where it's closer to the top, I guess, boat tail section, that helps fan it out to create the curve. So just keep that in mind. Here I'm working the edge of the panel, trying to get a little bit more curve near the top boat tail section. It's actually a little bit difficult for me, but I'm trying to hold the panel up so that it's in the right orientation as it's getting stretched, so I'm kind of helping it in the direction I need it to go. You're also going to notice me hopping around quite a bit on this panel, and that's so that I'm developing the shape incrementally. If I put too much shape in one area, it tends to distort the form of the panel. That's why I'm consistently sort of fighting the panel back into position, as well as jumping around and giving more shape to these different areas as I go, to just kind of build up on the shape little bit by little bit. I know it sounds like I know what I'm doing, but this is just how I understand it. I'm trying to simplify it for you guys. Certainly I'm by no means an expert, and this is my first panel, but I'm trying to translate what I'm learning as I'm rewatching this while I'm editing. Okay, so a little bit of the baby hitting there, and then go to wheeling and kind of back and forth.
And then it'll be a little bit of back and forth. Yeah.
And still blown away. Right now, Tom is just welding up the seam where the actual running board meets the rear guard and making that just like the most perfect seam. I'll show you on the other side. Check this out. So this is one of the spots that the design has changed a little bit from an original Auburn in the, I guess, to make it just more beautiful. So this is a really difficult spot to have a body line. This isn't even a body line, this is a seam line. It's gonna be completely something that you barely even see, but that is turning up almost 90. This area is very flat, and then it's turned up again. So that flange is really difficult to get, but look at how tight a fit. Like we're talking, this is ridiculous. It's a perfect horizontal line going through an extremely organic curve. Part of what makes Bespoke Coach Works special is they just, doesn't matter how hard it is, it's what is the most beautiful way to do it. Okay, well, the last little bit I'm trying to get out on this panel is just a little bit more deep into this curve, and then we're ready for wheeling. So I think I just need a little bit more in this area, linear stretch, try and bring this down, but the rest of it is touching the wire form.
Sort of down on the sandbag,
just give it a bump
just to give it a bump, and then just if it's like sort of flat and so you're able to be wheel, because obviously that's harder to wheel, and then just start smoothing. It's so close. Like that's at the point where it's like, you know, it's still got to be wheeled so much that you're gonna the form's gonna manipulate and all that sort of stuff that you kind of wanna.
There's gonna be tons of fine tuning yet to come, right? Like this is like rough enough to start.
To start, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's all.
Have you ever heard of guys too, like shrinking the center?
I have.
I've seen somebody create like it's almost like a saddle-shaped form.
Yes.
Where you just like it would be bending it around like this, but upside down, like bending it like that.
What's it called? Rachel Lean.
Yes.
Done
yes.
It. Yeah.
That's where I learned it too.
Yeah.
And so on something with that much, have you ever considered that, or just it's not worth it?
You got enough. It's easier just to stretch the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's, as long as you got a thick enough material, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
right?
well,
Like,
because the thing is, it's like, well, how much stretch has that had? And then it'd be interesting to put a set of verniers on the edge of that.
and maybe
And
it's
see where it
only-
is. It's probably maybe 0.8.
Yeah.
You know, like it haven't affected it that much. And look how strong, like it's
still-
strong. You
yeah.
know? Like that's not going to go anywhere if that was welded in the car.
Shape has
You know,
crazy
so-
strength, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see the point.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of work because you watch the video, he struggles. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a lot of work to try and gather, like to keep it gathered and stuff. And also too, what he was doing is it was a consistent reverse. You know, this is not
this is-
consistent by any means. It
No.
twists and stuff like. I don't
this
know if
thing's
you'd have to
pretty
make a
wild.
saddle. You have to make a saddle to fit the panel. I don't know
Yeah,
exactly
right.
how that method would work.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this makes more sense to me because you're working an area, and it's not even like deforming much. Like you work an area, it gets closer. You work
Yes,
an area,
yeah,
it
exactly,
gets closer.
yeah.
It's not like some wild out of form or out of arrangement type situation.
Yeah,
It's like,
reverse, you can't really do reverses out of arrangement. It's
Yeah.
quite tough.
right,
Yeah.
and there's no real point to.
Yeah, well, yeah, and there's no real point, but also, yeah, you kind of can't because usually when you put a reverse in something, that's like, say if you're doing a panel like this, you do all your shrinking and smoothing before you've done the reverse, because once the reverse goes in, it locks in arrangement. Like, you know, so it's very hard to do something like that out of arrangement, really.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so choosing the wheel for this same deal, like find the flattest area.
Find this possible radius. You know, you just get your wheel, put it on the bottom, see which one's the flattest.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's
I could
gonna
go
work.
almost flat for some of it, but I
reckon
guess you'd be like
it'd
doing
probably
it.
be like 36 or 24 probably looking at it, but then this might get closer to maybe a 12. But I mean, check we'll go to the radius gauge. Just trying to see what's what. Really? Flip it over. I'm going.
Okay.
And we should be able to check the. See, 12 is too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
24 is pretty close. We know there's a bit of a hollow there.
Yeah. So it's
It's
mostly
pretty much 24 the whole
mostly
way.
up.
36 is a little bit too flat.
Okay.
Put ridges. 24 is pretty well bang on. Yeah, it's pretty well 24 the whole way through. Yeah.
So just running it with a 24 wheel on the
24
bottom,
on the
going
bottom.
this way until we get up to this.
Yeah,
spot,
well, we
and
should
then-
be able to blend over the whole thing because we're using such light pressure that we're more trying to smooth than what we are do stretching.
So we're just tracking one side to the other.
Yeah.
And fully.
Yeah.
Like all right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and if we need to cross hatch, we'll go down. We might go to a 12 or something just to give us a little bit.
Oh,
as
if
it starts to
we
get
had
closer.
to go this way.
No.
To cross hatch?
No, still this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we're going this way, and you're talking about cross hatching, are you not?
No, cross hatch like not full 90. Like
Oh,
just
okay.
like this.
Diagonal.
Just diagonal.
Diagonal.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more like it's cross hatch, but it's not like a 90 degrees. It's more like, what is it?
Like 20.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's more like that.
Diamond.
Instead of like a
Yeah,
square.
it's like a really.
It's more of a diamond
Tight
shape.
diamonds, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not so it's not max.
Diamonds. Always clean your wheel, always clean your panel, right?
Yeah.
No dust, no,
No
stuff.
oils.
No stuff getting caught up on it.
Yeah.
Have you dressed these wheels, or is this how they
No,
come?
that's how it comes. Yeah.
Check out these 3D printed radius gauges. I make these too, but I got them out of aluminum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, right on. So.
Light pressure,
Yeah.
just overlap track.
Yeah. So yeah, sort of slightly on an angle. Yeah, the first couple of passes I go fairly light just to sort of blend it all together, and like already like the surface has cleaned up so much. You can,
Right. Oh yeah, even just that. Like,
Yeah,
That
it's blended
transition
it.
from that is.
Yeah, it's blending it through. looking?
I think she looks pretty good. Still that same thing. It feels like there's too much kind of right there. You know, it's trying to pop
it's
that in.
kicking back.
Yeah,
that
like
direction,
it's a little overstretched. So I'd maybe give it a kick, or leave it for now and just keep smoothing.
No, you can give it a kick. Yeah, you can give it a kick, but also I think maybe potentially it could be a little bit of a fast acceleration right there. So possibly, I reckon maybe it could tap in on the sandbag.
Okay, tap in
down,
and
that will tighten that up a little bit.
Gotcha.
It may possibly still need to shrink afterwards, but you know, just feeling the surface just looks like it right there. There's like an acceleration ridge. You know what I mean? Like it wants to go
like
faster.
It started doing that.
Like faster. Yeah. So it's possible that you bang that in a little bit.
Yeah.
That will pucker up some material. It might need to be shrunk, like kick shrink to get it out.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
But try.
And
that
then also
first.
too, a little bit in there needs to
yeah,
because
it's it doesn't have that flow. It's a bit of a flat spot there.
This is a bit of a transition spot where it's starting to twist and come into. It's starting to come into a compound here.
Okay,
So it is.
right.
That's.
It's going from reverse to compound. In this transition.
In this one transition, yeah. So, but I reckon it does have to come in a little bit, and that will also to kick some of that material where it looks like probably this area right there needs to shrink.
Okay, so a couple kicks on that maybe, and a little bit of blocking there, and potentially a bit right there.
Through there. Yeah, have you got a structure there? Yeah, sort of like in, right, like right there. That's so that area there needs to shrink. So that area needs to go in, like hammer.
Block in. So sandbag this just lightly, blocking.
A little bit of shrink
a little
just
bit there.
Yeah.
Keep wheeling.
And then keep wheeling. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, maybe a little block like right there.
Yeah, this is kind of like that untouched spot.
Yes,
so
it's just trying to blend that surface, but it's only very gentle. It's only very soft right there. Needs to be just tapped in, but yeah, it's getting it's happening and it looks nice.
So there's a little bit there. It's maybe because there's so much material past this.
Yeah, potentially.
That starts to shrink over. Okay.
Yeah, but stuff like that you can adjust. A little bit later, a little bit of kick, shrink, or stretch.
Focus on the interior of the panel first.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, block, a little bit of shrink.
Yeah.
Lots of wheels.
Lots of wheels. Yeah.
All right. I can even feel that when I'm blocking this area in, that it's puckering up here like it needs the shrink. It's the metal telling me where it needs to be. It's starting to get all crazy right now, like it's got too much material here when I'm putting this material where it should be. Okay, I'm not gonna go too far. Just try and block this area. I'm gonna do the same here. Like we said, this is the untouched area when we're using the power hammer. So we've linear stretched in all directions to get this shape. And so this is more of a blending situation. Like we can feel how this is a little bit flat compared to this. So I've got to block this down a little bit to blend. Just kind of rearranging the sandbags too to make sure that there's sand underneath right where I need to block. It's got a million different sandbags, so you can kind of stack them. There we go. really see how torqued this is, so I'm gonna go to the shrinker now. This is a round jaw shrinker, and it's got, it just means you can kind of get into tighter spots. Me personally at home, I've got the rectangle kind of cheapy ones. These ones, you can imagine how tight of a flange you could potentially get out of it. So it's kind of a nice shrinker. This part of the car has a little bit more shallow of a curve, and when I try and force the material to be a little bit more shallow, it creates that pucker where you can feel it's got too much material. That's why we know it needs a shrink. Okay, we'll go check it one more time. Perhaps it needs a little bit more shrinking right here. We shrink here, needs a little bit more right here. Okay, pretty happy with it. Gonna go back to the wheel, smooth out some of that blocking, and just try and keep making it better. Yeah, I guess this is up a bit. I don't know if that's just like
a little bit of foam.
Like
yeah, that's a bit out of it heaps.
So still, do you think that there could be like, I guess this might be away a little bit?
Yeah.
This might.
I think that could be a little bit higher right there. Yeah. And then that could do a little bit of a shrink. Right? That would put like, you can see like that's where it's, like right here is where it starts to go from this to more of a flat. So like right there it needs to shrink in a little bit. And then like just right there is the peak of the where it sort of accelerates around the corner a little bit too harshly. But
so you think a little more blocking, like right there?
Yeah. Yeah. Probably even like a little bit of blocking, like just slightly inbound, like right there.
Okay, bit of blocking.
Yeah, just a touch. More to create a little bit of a reverse. It's a little bit flatter there than what it is either side of it. Other than that, it's pretty close.
Unreal, man. Unreal. Okay, a little blocking, a little shrinking. Those are almost the same spots.
Yeah, it's a
there's some there, yeah.
Like that was a little bit further back.
Okay.
You know, than what the first one was, and yeah, that's just got to shrink that sort of to pull that in.
Pull that in.
Yeah.
So you just kick that?
Yeah,
Kick,
I'll just kick that, yeah.
kick, block.
But it's so close.
Unreal. Okay, little block, little shrink. What do you see?
So close.
Yes, still there's a little bit.
Probably, we'd probably do a little bit of shrink along that top edge, maybe on a, just a bit of form correction. Let's settle that down.
Oh, good too.
Same thing a little bit. Just a little bit there.
Yeah, I think the wheels sort of flatten that out a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Just because it's a little bit more than a 12.
That could maybe just a little like adjustment with the sandbag just to kick it a little bit, I think, yeah. But other than that, besides this outer edge here, it's just, what does it need?
Just a little shrink.
Little shrink, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Like there, a couple kicks.
I think so.
So a couple kicks, maybe there.
Yeah, maybe start with that and see what it does. Yeah.
And then just
That's just a
sandbag
little
this,
adjustment, yeah.
tap it in a bit.
That's a hard spot because of the transition.
Right.
So it's just trying to, it'll just take a bit of tweaking just to get it, but yeah, pretty close.
All right. So what the blocking is doing is creating a bit more surface area. This area was a bit flat, and where it was flat, it just meant that it was not, like the flow was not coming down. So this kind of came down, and then it was kind of straighter across here, and then started turning up. So by blocking it, you're kind of stretching it very gingerly. Like this is a very low crown blocking hammer, and we've just pushed it down into the right spot. So now we've got, you know, just a little bit more flow on that one spot where it used to be a bit flat here. So anytime we're blocking, we're adding surface area. It's a bit of stretch with a hammer. So there's a little bit more blocking needs to happen here to help flow that curve up. And yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
Tiny little smooth. It's just so minor. Here,
Yeah, I started coming away a bit there. I'm not, maybe I just like
probably shrunk a little bit.
shrunk
maybe
too
a little
much
bit
there.
Too much, yeah.
So I kind of over shrunk this area a little bit, started to pull away. So now I'm gonna block this area, trying to get it back down. But for the most part, the rest of it's fitting pretty good. We're getting closer and closer. All right, had an awesome time at Ayden's shop. The video ender that I had filmed to kind of just like sum up that video, I don't know what happened to it, got lost in the mix. But thank you very much, Ayden, Tina, Houston, Hugo, for having me in your home, hosting me for a few days while I was learning as much as I could at Bespoke Coach Works. The whole team there, you guys are great, and I just really appreciate, you know, everything that you guys did for me while I was down there. And it's 4 in the morning right now. I've got a bit of packing to do. Got a plane to catch. Just being out in Australia with Heron Forbes and Machinery House has just been amazing. It's actually an amazing company that I hope to work with in the future as well. Looking forward to getting home, seeing my dogs, seeing the family, seeing some friends. It's getting colder out here and warmer back there, so I got a plane to catch. Thanks a lot, everybody. Don't forget to like, click subscribe, hit notifications, throw a comment down below. If you don't mind, that'd be great. It helps me out. And merch stores, JapAnsCustoms.com. Custom Crew memberships, $5 a month, 15% off the merch store if you want to do that. And I hope to, well, actually I got a lot of great inspiration while I was out here, so I've got some changes to make and some improvements to make for the channel to hopefully bring you guys better content in the coming months, weeks, days, all that. It's all because of you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.